What are the best PS5 Pro enhanced games to play first? Well, there are a lot of breakdowns out there. It can be tough to decide where you want to start. There's footage, there's comparisons, but I wanted to put together a really nice top 5 list for you because I've looked at pretty much every breakdown available. You may look at this list and only see 1 or 2 games that interest you, and that's kind of the point. I'm trying to help you find the best one to start with because there are a lot of games that are getting enhancements, so where should you begin? Well, based on my research, I think I've got the top 5 that you should check out. And whenever I upload a video like this, I head to a live stream after to discuss it. So leave a comment below, recommend some games that you think should be on the list. And if you like this kind of content, hit like and subscribe. Now, the first and easiest choice, based on everything we've seen, is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And listen, I'm not interested in this game, but I wanted to include it. I wanted to remove some of my bias, because everybody's got different tastes and preferences, and I know this one is popular, but I also wanted to pick it for pretty clear reasons. First and foremost, it's been described as night and day compared to the experience that you have on the base PS5. I may end up doing a second video about second chances for games on the Pro, because Final Fantasy 16 is one that I stopped playing because the performance mode was so inconsistent. So when I saw that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was having issues with performance, it honestly didn't surprise me. But the differences are stark in a variety of ways. If you've seen any of the footage, the image quality is so much better. It's clearer, it's more stable, and that's something that's going to continue to come up with the upscaling and with the Pro. Are they able to give you the stable image and the clarity while also boosting performance? But as far as you can tell, and as I can tell from the footage, quality's better, stability's better, clarity, performance, all these things are significantly improved. And the IGN footage that we're using is the versatility mode, and this was added specifically for the Pro. The patch notes indicated that this was optimized for gameplay on the Pro, and they targeted enhancing visual quality and performance for the hardware itself. And given the hands-on feedback that we've seen before the versatility footage was even available, it's not surprising. You can clearly see that they targeted both visual quality and performance. So as I said, I think this is hitting the 3 big factors. Was there a jump in fidelity? Was there a jump in performance? And is it showcasing what the Pro is about? And this is not even one that I plan on diving into, but if it's on your radar, I think this is one of the ones you should check out first. And there's another game that I skipped, but the Pro is making me want to dive in fresh for the first time. This, of course, is Dragon's Dogma 2, and this is one of the bigger jumps in performance that we've seen thanks to the PS5 Pro. Now, to the devs' credit, they have done some work getting FPS increased, but even after some of the patches, they are still not getting consistent 60 FPS on the base PS5. There is footage where you can see some of the typical troublesome areas, and the base PS5 is landing in the 30s and the 40s because it's a city and there's NPCs. But on the PS5 Pro, this section is showing low 50s. Other reports are claiming that Dragon's Dogma 2 is hitting 60 FPS consistently in the rest of the open world. The Verge claimed that in the cities, in the town, you're getting 55 to 60 FPS, and then VRR can kind of cover that, but then it's capped at 60 FPS outside. This to me is acceptable. If I'm playing the game, exploring, fighting, and I'm maintaining 60, and I only see very minor drops in town, that's a huge jump. This is the first and most important factor for me. Does it improve performance? This is basically taking a 30 FPS game that launched, capped, and now it's a 60 FPS game on the Pro. They do also upscale to 4K. You could debate about image quality because the internal is 1080. However, when you combine this with smoother frame rate, I've seen footage slowed down to show just how much ghosting around the character has been removed. There's a very stuttery, almost hitching nature to the game because the frame rates are very inconsistent, but on the Pro, this has been removed. This to me is an image quality improvement along with the performance improvement. So again, this is what the Pro is all about. And when it comes to nailing both performance and fidelity improvements, the next game is undeniably hitting this in ways that I honestly think it looks too good to be true. All right, Spider-Man 2 is one of those games that I really thought this is going to be a tough one for them to showcase improvements on the Pro because Insomniac did such an incredible job with this title on the base PS5. I played this game, beat it. I thought it was breathtaking. But the latest trailer makes it really hard to disagree with the developer in the video when they say that this will be the quintessential Spider-Man 2 experience on the PS5 Pro. In less than 2 minutes, they show a highly reflective world, both during high-speed traversal as well as when you might stop to just sort of take a look around. Something about Spider-Man 2 that has really impressed me since launch, and the initial gameplay trailers when they were showing them, was just they let you move so fast through the city, and nothing seems to stutter or hitch at all. It looks brilliant. If you've not played this game yet, this is the perfect one to jump into with the Pro for a variety of reasons. First, I think this is one of the stronger showcases for the ray tracing and the reflections. Throughout various times of day, the sun is setting or coming up or it's nighttime, the entire city takes on a whole feel, a whole vibe, and just the shiny towering buildings while you're zipping past them or sitting on one for a photo shoot. I think the game is a great showcase of those features. And not just the lighting and the reflections, another reason to dive into Spider-Man 2, the combat and the traversal. It's fast, it's snappy, it is incredibly satisfying. Having this level of fluidity and speed while also maintaining 60 FPS and high fidelity graphics and the ray tracing and the reflections, it is truly impressive. Now, I, for one, will not be replaying Spider-Man 2. I found it was a great game. I had a perfectly satisfying end with it. I will definitely boot it up and swing through the city for a bit, maybe tinker with photo mode, and just drink in the visuals. But I will say, I'm a little disappointed that we are not getting Spider-Man 2 DLC. I thought they were going to pull a Burning Shores and use new content in Spidey to really show off the Pro. But for the rest of you that have not played this game yet, or you're looking for an excuse to revisit, if you're looking for a good first game to play on the Pro, Spider-Man 2 would be an excellent first choice. And obviously, if we're going to mention one Insomniac game, we have to mention the other contender in the room. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is one of the first games I played on my base PS5. And much like Spider-Man 2, I think this is going to be a really tough showcase to see the differences. The art style of Rift Apart really allows for shiny surfaces, super stable performance. They have these seamless transitions from cutscene to gameplay. You're jumping through rifts. All of this, I think, really shows off how good Insomniac is. It really makes me hope they make a Spider-Verse game. But anyway, similar to the Spider-Man 2 trailer, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart dropped a short trailer the other day. Now, this was the trailer that prompted my video where I argued that the PS5 Pro is a PS5 killer. The language in the video and sort of the way they're talking about the Pro, this feels more like we're shifting into a new generation, not just doing a mid-gen refresh. I don't want to retread that, but I do want to admit something about this trailer and the gameplay showcase. This is not a strong or compelling showcase to somebody who has already played through Rift Apart. As I said, the game is already very, very stunning. This is one of the ones I think that will likely take a hands-on session where I turn on everything, like give me the fidelity, the ray tracing, the 60, all in one mode, for me to truly appreciate the differences. But the reason I want to include this is for a couple obvious reasons. First, I think a lot of people may have skipped Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Well, why? Maybe they thought it was a kid's game, but also the first 2 years of PS5 distribution were not the best. Ratchet's not nearly as popular as Horizon or God of War or Spider-Man. So a lot of the consumers who finally got a PS5, poor Ratchet was sitting there competing for your attention with games like Horizon Forbidden West and Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2. Another reason to recommend this game is plenty of folks may be diving into the PS5 ecosystem for the very first time with the Pro, and Ratchet & Clank hits the perfect tone. It's charming, it's fun, it feels like a Pixar movie that you're in control of, and it has a surprisingly deep combat system with satisfying iframes and movement, and a seemingly endless amount of really cool weapons and larger-than-life fights and environments. Similar to Spider-Man 2, this is not one I'll replay. Maybe I'll try to coax my kiddos to do it so I can see all the really great environments. I'm definitely going to boot it up and check out all the features because I just don't think you can deny this, just like Spider-Man 2, is really checking the two big boxes, fidelity and performance, which, as we keep saying, that's the point of the Pro. Alright, last but certainly not least, and I am going to cheat, I'm going to include The Last of Us Part 1 Remake and The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster sort of as a package deal here, because I think these are must-plays in general, but they are definitely great games to start with on your Pro. The remake of TLU 1, it looks like an next-gen game, and the original first game released over 10 years ago and 2 generations ago. The TLU 2 Remaster, is equally, I think, just as gorgeous and worth your time. Both of these games showcase first-party PlayStation Studio work at their best, and having them enhanced on the Pro makes them must-plays, even for folks who maybe just feel like revisiting them. I, for one, just played through them recently, so I'm probably not going to do that, but that's why the Mark Cerny video hit me, I think, a little bit stronger than maybe somebody else. I saw very familiar footage and environment, stuff that I had just been playing a couple of weeks ago, and the fidelity and the lighting was turned all the way up, but it was also maintaining 60 FPS. Don't let the weird claims that these are just movie games keep you away, especially TLU 2. I know some people have just skipped that one entirely for a variety of reasons, but the dynamic and the emergent nature of the combat is truly unmatched. I was very skeptical. I was surprised the game won Game of the Year over Ghost of Tsushima, so I went as a skeptic and I came out a fan, all right? The environments and the graphics are going to look even better and maintain stable 60 FPS on the Pro. I cannot see how you could skip over either of these games on the Pro, especially if you haven't played them. However, I do want to give you my conclusion as well as just a couple of honorable mentions. Now, if any of those games in my top 5 don't really catch your interest, maybe these will. And one of the reasons we didn't really want to include these is we don't yet have footage of the 3 that I'm going to say. Now, we do have side-by-side comparisons of this first one, but I like to kind of avoid that. This is not a tech channel. We don't do like the side-by-side breakdowns and the measurement. If you want that, go check out Digital Foundry's videos. The boys over there do great work. But obviously, one of the games I left out that is clearly benefiting from the PS5 Pro is Horizon Forbidden West. Just the increase in foliage density and the lighting and just the changes, it looks magnificent, and I definitely think this is one you want to check out. I love my playthrough with it. Even the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster is probably worth checking out as well, but I wanted to give that one an honorable mention just because I didn't really want to showcase that kind of side-by-side gameplay, but it is definitely one I think worth checking out. Another one would be No Man's Sky, especially if you own the PS VR 2. We're hearing about good improvements to the VR 2, and No Man's Sky is one of the best showcases of the VR 2. However, No Man's Sky is also one of the games boasting 8K, so if this is one that you're interested in, or you like No Man's Sky, or maybe you have an 8K television or an 8K monitor, don't skip over that one. And last but certainly not least, we don't have it officially on the list yet, but it was in the PlayStation blog, which means we're obviously going to probably see it tomorrow get added. Looking to see some of those breakdowns, some of those tests to see where this one lands. But Call of Duty Black Ops 6, one of the biggest, games of the year, obviously, and it is an Xbox first-party title, so very much keeping our eye on that one to see just what will be added and enhanced and improved in that title. So those are some 3 honorable mentions here at the end. If I missed anything and you want to add that, do that in a comment below. As always, I want to hear from you, and that's why I had to a live stream after this, and sometimes those comments get featured in the live stream. It'll be pinned in a comment below. It'll also hit the card right here. And as always, if you like this kind of content, please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe.